Welcome to The Mind, the Cure Protocol for August 7, 2026. We begin with what changed, not merely what was announced. One movement in this path has already reached care. The rest are research signals that could open the next path, but each still needs proof. We will start close to real people, then trace the evidence back to the targets and questions that matter next. This protocol is a living loop. People bring the questions that matter. Direct evidence changes the map. The source ledger remembers what we have already seen and checks the original date before calling it new. Every signal ends with one practical next action, the experiment, validation, collaboration, or care decision that could move it closer to real benefit. The FDA announced accelerated approval of TUDRIQEVTM WTPG, a genetically engineered oncolytic viral immunotherapy, for adults with unresectable advanced cutaneous melanoma that has progressed after PD-1 blockade, with use in combination with nivolumab. This is a concrete example of the field shifting from blunt chemotherapy to programmable biological engineering. AI-driven design and optimization are increasingly turning cancer into an engineering problem, a hallmark of the intelligence inversion phase where machine-readable biology enables therapies that are built rather than discovered. For people within the stated indication, this is now a regulated care option. Treatment decisions still belong with patients and clinicians. Approval establishes regulatory status for the stated indication, not proof of superiority or the right choice for every person. Next, what real-world uptake, safety, and outcomes within the approved indication? Replimune announced FDA accelerated approval of TUDRIQEVTM WTPG plus nivolumab for unresectable advanced cutaneous melanoma after progression on an anti-PD-1 regimen, giving the company a broadened label in a high unmet need setting. More than a drug approval, this is evidence that AI-enabled biology and engineering are pushing oncology toward an intelligence inversion. Tumors are increasingly treated as systems to be modeled, reprogrammed, and controlled, not just chemically suppressed. For people within the stated indication, this is now a regulated care option. Treatment decisions still belong with patients and clinicians. Approval establishes regulatory status for the stated indication, not proof of superiority or the right choice for every person. Next, what real-world uptake, safety, and outcomes within the approved indication? Using cryo-EM, researchers identified that the Alzheimer's-linked Flemish APP mutation drives A40 into a previously unrecognized filament fold that exposes a phenylalanine residue, a structural change that likely underlies vascular amyloid deposition and cerebral hemorrhage in carriers. The result matters because it shows how a single pathogenic variant can redirect protein self-assembly into a distinct disease state, reinforcing the broader AI for biomedicine goal of learning the molecular rules of misfolding well enough to engineer interventions rather than merely observe pathology. If confirmed, this could help drug teams test better molecular ideas sooner instead of searching blindly. The useful part is a smarter starting point, not a finished medicine. Biology still gets the final vote. Next, show with independent benchmarks and laboratory work that the targets produce better drug candidates. Researchers in a Nature Medicine Phase 1 trial reported that intracranially delivered autologous B7H3 targeting CAR T cells, TX103, could be administered to patients with recurrent glioblastoma with defined safety, dose escalation, and early efficacy signals. If confirmed, this could help clinicians see disease signals more clearly and focus the next decision. The useful part is precision, not magic. A clever sensor still has to prove it helps a real clinic make a better decision. Next, show in independent studies that the measurement improves a real clinical decision. The practical read is simple. These are signals, not promises. But each one is a concrete target that researchers, clinicians, engineers, funders, and the people most affected can connect to a next step. Keeping the evidence visible is how the cure protocol stays current without pretending the work is finished.